What's up, my guys? We are back. This is the Juice Box. Happy 4 days until Thanksgiving. Turkey Day is among us. I can't wait to eat some food and gain 25 pounds. Big Czar, what's up?
Yeah, I'm fucking pretty excited, honestly. And this year is a little different because, I mean, we do Friendsgiving, but they're close this year. Like, it's not like a week break in between. It's like Thanksgiving, 2 days later, Friendsgiving.
Well,
so we're going to be eating good.
Well, you want to know my schedule, all right? So Thursday, grandparents. Friday, I believe Angie has the Friendsgiving I'm going to, and we're going to her parents' house. Saturday, other grandparents, and then our Friendsgiving.
Oh, wow. So, like, you're probably going to gain 25 pounds.
Literally 25 pounds. It's Balkan season.
I'm not looking forward to it because even though it's not true, your mind tells you like clothes just fit tighter. You feel so uncomfortable, always pulling at shit. And I literally love Thanksgiving time, but after I'm done stuffing myself, it takes my digestives like a week.
Oh yeah,
to go back
to normal. Yeah,
no doubt.
But like in the heat of the moment, eating the food is just glorious.
It is.
It's just a great feeling.
No, it does take your body a while to get adjusted back to normal.
Well, it's like it's really, if you think about it, one of the only days that we have as people that the rule is like you stuff yourself, you drink if you want to, and you nap all day and watch football.
Yeah.
Like, what other day do we really... You could do that on a Saturday, I guess, but some people would consider that like wasting a weekend.
Well, there's no designated day in the middle of a week where you can do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like the only day where you're supposed to be gluttonous.
Yeah. It's
Right?
nice. 4 football games on.
It is, and you know, it's just kind of dawning on me that like as a country or as a world, maybe even like we have catered that holiday even more so to be that way. Like we put football on that day all day, like all the things that you like us as lazy people want to just do on that day.
It's actually, if you like skin it down, it's kind of weird. It's like, okay, you take a Thursday. On this Thursday, you're going to play football day, eat until you have to unbutton your pants, and just drink if you want to.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing on this day.
Yeah.
Everybody's got it off. Well, not mostly. Everybody's got it off, and that's what you do. It's kind of strange.
So what's... Oh, I needed to crack my neck there. What's our favorite one food from Thanksgiving? Like a side, just one. There can't be, oh, I like to put my mashed potatoes and my turkey and mix them together. No, one thing out of everything.
I know this might open up a can of worms, but my favorite...
Here we go. Here we go.
My favorite literally is dressing. I could...
Stuffing, gotcha.
No, dressing. If it was up to me, I could just take a whole pan of dressing and eat it to myself.
Should we open up that argument in here in the chat right
Here's
now?
the thing. I'm gonna have to act as a mediator because I can honestly say I've never eaten dressing or stuffing, or whether you think it's the same thing or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have a say in this whole
Go
thing.
ahead.
I was in, so for the people at home, we had a pretty big argument in our Friendsgiving group chat over this topic here, and I was just trying to go into it with an open mind. I was trying to see all sides of it, but I'm leaning towards it being different.
What? See, like I think
it's just the way it's prepared.
Here it is. The potato. One thing. You want me to start calling a hash brown a French fry?
No, because
it's
that's
cooked the exact same way as a French fry.
It's prepared differently, right?
So is dressing and stuff.
all I'm saying. This is
well,
all.
Even the stuffing's cooked differently.
Yes.
This is all I'm saying here is, okay, let's cook a French fry, all right, and then let's shove it up a turkey's ass, and then it's no longer a French fry. That is basically what dressing and stuffing people say.
Not really, because then if you mash a French fry, it becomes mashed potatoes. You don't call it a French fry.
I agree with that.
If you cook the potato, don't mash it and don't cut it down to fries, it's called a baked potato.
Okay.
It's different.
So let's take that same baked potato and put it inside a turkey. Is it a baked potato still?
So your
It's
thing
just
is
gross at that point. Right?
you just want to shove everything up a turkey.
That's literally what dressing is. It's just dressing inside of a turkey, and then they change it to stuffing.
Okay, so do they taste the same?
No.
Yes, they're the
No.
same
Oh
thing.
my god!
No, they
you
don't.
guys are like on way opposite
Stuffing-
ends of the spectrum. Here.
Stuffing is so moist. It's not together. It's more like individual little pieces, where dressing, you put it in a pan and you bake it like a cake or like cornbread or brownies, and it comes out one big slice.
Yeah, you cut it in squares. I
It's
assume.
it's completely different, and if you want to keep going back and forth, I will. But you're so wrong. It's so
I stick
different.
with my art. We'll just see what the fans have
we
to
need
say.
to get we should weigh in with Wallace on what he thinks about this because he's a chef,
He is the chef.
and I feel like we need to ask a chef their opinion on this.
So you're telling me if I crack a beer and shove it up a turkey, it's called stuffing?
That's what dressing people say.
No,
You literally just solidified my argument.
it's different. It's two different things.
Do you realize what you just said is solidifying what I'm saying?
yes,
A beer
and I'm
outside-
saying,
a
do you
beer-
know how dumb you sound?
A beer right here is a beer, and a beer inside of a turkey is a beer.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're the same.
Then I'm gonna start calling hash browns French fries. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
You just cook them differently.
No.
You cook dressing in an oven and you cook stuffing in a turkey.
In an oven.
Oh, some people put it in a fucking oil thing. So what's that called? Oil stuffing?
I just have to
Yes.
say I don't have a leg in this argument. I just don't know.
Here's where it comes down to for me. If we want to call stuffing and dressing the same thing, I'm fine with it. But every time I get a potato, I'm calling it the complete opposite of what it
Of
is.
what it is.
Anytime.
Yeah, I mean, the potato is a good example
If-
because there's so many different things you can make out of a potato. You got French fries, hash browns, hojos, tater tots,
Potato chips.
But cook
Chip-
the same
chips.
thing, stuffing mixture outside of the turkey.
It's not the
Then
same
it's not
It's
mixture.
still
Stuffing, right?
stuffing.
It's not the same
To me.
mixture. Well, to you, but it's not the same.
Okay, my favorite Thanksgiving thing is pumpkin pie.
Okay,
Next.
Okay.
God
mine
dang
would have to
it.
be. I'm gonna say mashed potatoes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say
So
mac
French
and
fries.
cheese. Yeah. I was gonna say mac and cheese, but I think that's actually a relatively newer dish.
Dude,
My
it
family
was
didn't
never
do mac and cheese.
It was never an us
growing
thing.
up.
I'm going to make a bold statement here. If you say macaroni and cheese is your favorite thing at Thanksgiving,
You're
you
weird.
don't know what Thanksgiving is.
I
Yeah,
feel
well,
the
I'm glad
same.
I didn't say it then.
But you just said
But
it
it-
hasn't been like a normal
It
thing.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a recent thing.
It's
Yeah.
an American thing.
Yeah, like we definitely never used to have that in my family, but in recent years we do now. Like a nice baked mac and cheese. Also, what I've been seeing included at Thanksgiving a lot now than I never saw it growing up is like chicken and noodles, like butter.
My grandma, she always does like the noodle, like buttered noodles, and sometimes
which-
have like chicken in it.
I have to say those are fire.
Yeah, I do
like
like
a creamy buttered noodle with pieces of shredded chicken all mixed in it. That's so good.
You know what else I'm a big fan of? Like cheesy potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However
Oh,
you
yeah.
make those, I
Cheesy
don't know.
French fries, man.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many good
mean,
ways you can make cheese.
cheese-
Like, are you talking like scalloped
Yeah,
potatoes?
yeah,
Oh,
with
I
cheese,
love scalloped
yeah.
potatoes. Ugh.
And dude, everybody always just forgets about the sweet potato.
Dude, I love sweet potatoes. You know what else I tried recently? That's fire is freaking yam.
Ooh.
I don't know if I've had a yam.
They taste kind of pretty much just like a sweet potato. At least I thought so.
I like can eat sweet potatoes. I don't think I could have like a full order of them. I don't hate them. They're good, but I find them to be like sweet.
yeah, like
I couldn't eat a full basket of, like you could get a basket of French fries and a basket of sweet potato fries. I couldn't finish
the best is when you do the sweet potato fries and you put cinnamon on them.
Whoa.
really-
See, that
that-
might be too much for
Well,
me.
you'd have to just eat it
Eat
as
it.
kind of like a desserty
Dessert,
type thing.
yeah.
But it's very, very good.
Sweet
yeah.
potato fries just with ketchup. Mm.
I love sweet potato fries, man.
Yeah.
Not a ketchup guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite condiment?
Whoa.
That's easy.
Mine's easy too.
It's got to be hot sauce.
Okay.
Like a nice spicy brown mustard. I love mustard.
Yeah, I mean, I would say mine's barbecue sauce, but I would say right there with it is sriracha.
Sriracha's fire. I mean, dude, like I'm a big fan, and this is gonna sound weird because what I'm gonna say are like the two main ones. But like I'm a big fan of like most sauces and condiments except ketchup and mustard. And I know that makes me sound weird, but
Forever? Like, have you always been that way?
yeah. But I like a lot of sauces, like maybe wing sauces and stuff that are mustard based.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like you take a Carolina barbecue sauce, it's a mustard base. That shit's really good. I just don't like mustard on its own.
You know what Angie's big condiment is? I guess it's a big Puerto Rican thing. It's just ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together.
Yeah, you can buy that.
You
now.
can. It's
Yeah.
called mayo chup.
Well, I mean, thinking about it though, like I do enjoy like an old school cheeseburger where they do like the pickles, ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise. Like that.
Yeah.
That is a normal thing. I feel like on hamburgers. So I again, it sounds gross, but I feel like if I got used to it, I would enjoy it. I like mayonnaise a lot. Like there's nothing, and I know we've talked about it on here before, but there's nothing better than literally like a tomato sandwich with mayonnaise on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Mayonnaise grosses me out for whatever.
I think-
again, it's one of those things that I can eat if it's like incorporated
Yeah.
in a recipe.
Yeah.
But
See, I like mayonnaise, but it's very possible to put too much mayonnaise on.
Yes.
And then it gets very gross.
Agreed.
yeah, I everything about mayonnaise grosses me out. I can't even lie. I can't lie. But like, I want to kick back to the sriracha. Are you with sriracha like I am with hot sauce? Like I could put it on every food.
100%, man. Like I'm just thinking about it now. Sriracha and eggs, burgers, hot dogs, any kind of beef. It's like I enjoy the kick. Truthfully,
Yeah.
I don't
I did.
know.
So in college, like living with Sith all those years, he always had a bottle of sriracha in the fridge. And like, dude, I never tried it for the longest time until one time he put it on something for me or something. I was like, that's really good.
Well, that's where I got it was Sith and DQ. I don't know which one introduced me first, but they both had it around that same time, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like I can't remember the brand. It's a big name brand, like hot sauce brand. But it's green. It's like green hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. Cholula, right?
Yeah, it's
Is that what
something. I don't know, but
Green
it's
hot sauce is good.
Yeah.
The old Alpha used to have it on every table.
on the table.
What is that?
Was it Cholula?
I think so.
Tomatillo? What is that?
Tomatillo is green tomatoes salsa.
Okay,
The
yeah.
tomatillo.
But yeah.
Well, I think they probably make a hot sauce with it too.
Yeah.
That's what makes it green.
Yeah. That shit's fire.
Yeah, it is good. It
Mhm.
is. The green stuff, fire.
Well, it's
We
funny
love
though
our
because
greens.
now it gets to a point too to where sometimes I tell myself like I obviously like the taste of sriracha, but I think my palate's just got so used to it to where I just like the kick in something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's to the point where I just enjoy, if I make a hamburger or something and I put whatever on there, and then you squirt the sriracha on top or nachos or anything, chicken,
Dude,
noodles.
I'm right there with you. I think probably that's why I like hot sauce on anything. Like I like adding a little bit of spice to whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's just
So
I like spicy food.
It's the shit.
last week when I got that Chipotle chicken from El Zocalo, no free ads, there was a lot of sauce left, and I just took it home, and I had those hint of lime nachos
Oh,
and that Chipotle
that was probably
sauce.
so good.
Dude, it was delicious.
I
wanna
you
ask
let me
him-
try a little bit of that sauce.
Yeah.
Is so good.
I want to ask them, like, hey, can I just have some of your, can I just buy some of this sauce from you?
Well, dude, I
So
tried
good.
two Mexican places in Charleston this week. Cozumel, I always get it's very good, but I tried one. It's called like Rica's or like Rico's or something Mexican grill, and it was pretty fire. Like it just solidifies the argument even more that if I had to choose one group of food to eat forever, it's Mexican for me.
Here's what I'll say about Mexican food. I love Mexican food. I'm trying to think of a time where I've had bad Mexican food.
Bro, I was
That's the
having
thing.
this same conversation with somebody.
Like
Like,
your most
yeah.
Mexican restaurants are going to be pretty good.
They're good. Any like actual Mexican restaurant, it's always good.
And I truly
always.
think it just solidifies, like, I love Mexican food. Yes, I say El Zacalo's the best in
It's
Wheeling.
so good.
I truly believe that, but I like Mexican food.
Yeah. No, but
yeah. Well, it is really good. I have to. But see, like, there's some people that hate on El Paso at the Highlands. I'm like, dude, El Paso's good as fuck too. I don't know what people are talking about. It's all good.
And it's very healthy. Like,
it's not bad, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Compared to other types of food.
Yeah, because it is just it's just it's real food. I mean, you know what I mean? You get vegetables and just your meat
like
and stuff.
you're not the carb intake I'd say is probably lower, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because tortillas and
There's still carbs,
Dude.
but
there's
we're all in agreement here
I've
that
j-
Mexican food doesn't feel unhealthy when you eat it.
And I've jumped on now. I like the soft corn tortillas.
Really, you like the corn ones?
I like the flour tortillas too. But I've become addicted to the other kind because they double them up because they're very
thin.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I think it's just elevated my Mexican experience.
I like corn tortillas. I don't dislike them. I prefer flour, but the corn ones are good too.
I think I probably prefer a flour. I like them both though. Pretty good.
Dude, I have to say, and JT, I don't know if you got to experience this. I don't know if it was still around by the time you got to Morgantown. Yeah, it probably was. Maybe for like another year. What was the Mexican place over there in Morgantown over in the Sunset area by a Kroger?
You're not talking about
No, not Los Mariachis. It was the little place. You walked in and she made it in front of you.
I'm honestly blanking because I don't know if I've ever had it either.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Dude, it was something else.
Los is really good.
What the fuck was that place called? I'm going to freak out if I don't think of it.
I don't know. It was in Suncrest Town Center?
Yeah, so, like that place was newer. That area was newer when we got down there. Like, new stuff was opening up all the time. They put a Mexican place there. There was that Natty Cakes place with the frozen yogurt. The barbecue place. They put the new B-dubs there.
Sonic.
What the fuck is that place called? I got to text somebody.
Why?
Anyways, it was really fucking awesome. It was this, I don't want to call her an older lady, but like she was probably, like late, I don't know, mid-50s probably. Anyways, she set the place up and she homemade fucking everything.
Damn.
Down to the tortillas. Her tortillas were the best things I'd ever tasted. They were like, I don't know how she did it. Or what her ingredient combo was to make her tortillas, but it was literally to die for.
And I'm not calling this place a hole in the wall, but when I explain this, it's like there's only two types of places, in my opinion, that if you walk in somewhere and it's like an older place where they don't keep it up, barbecue's always going to be fire and Mexican's always going to be fire.
Yeah.
Like if you're rolling into a Mexican joint or a barbecue joint and it's like so old school.
You're like, this is about to be so good.
Like no pictures on the wall, like
like to the point. Like they're here for the food. They don't give a shit what it looks like in here.
Exactly.
Here for the food.
But I kind of want to go back to Thanksgiving and football. Like, when are we gonna give up the Lions always playing and all these teams?
Yeah, dude, they need to mix it up, man. I don't understand why they have the few staples that play on Thanksgiving.
It'd be different if they were good.
As a Steelers fan, last year I was so excited to watch the Steelers on Thanksgiving, and then the game got postponed because of COVID. I don't know if anyone remembers that. That was a bummer, man, because Thanksgiving football is already fun, but like when your team's playing on Thanksgiving, that's legit.
I don't think I've ever watched the Broncos play, and if they played, I was really little.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen the Broncos play. I do want to say maybe there was one Thanksgiving when I was really little at Meemaw's that Denver was playing the Cowboys, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, no idea, to be honest.
I'm going to kick back real quick. I got what the place was called in Morgantown. It's called Carmona's.
Oh, I recognize that name.
Dude, it was the best Mexican food ever. Anyway, so it was like a little walk-in place, like, and they'd make it in front of you and you'd pay. So her end goal was to create a sit-down restaurant. So she started that place up, built up, made good money, and then went and opened up a sit-down restaurant like in another part of West Virginia.
Oh,
she
for
didn't
real?
even do it in Morgantown. I was so upset.
Dude,
Yeah,
do we
dude,
know
like
where
she-
it's at?
Yeah, it's in
I'll take
Sissonsville, maybe.
Okay.
Something with an S.
Charleston
Something with an
area.
S. Yeah. Yeah, Charleston
Jake, you'll
area.
have to hunt it down.
Yeah, dead ass.
There you go.
Will.
You can start your own food show.
Well, dude, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I just keep eating at all these Mexican places. Maybe that'll just be my thing.
I'm telling you, dude, like ever since she left, like she told us she was leaving, like they were closing. We were super upset. There's a bunch of us just fucking loved it. And I was like, well, I'm definitely going to go to your sit down restaurant.
Hell
And
yeah.
I just never did.
Dude, I like didn't know if I should talk about this, but I kind of want to. It's not like it's a bad thing. I just think it's funny. So they just came out with our new holiday schedule for next year. And so many people are so pissed off because we work Good Friday now
Mhm.
and we now have Juneteenth off.
Mhm.
And they're very upset because not because we have Juneteenth off, but they're like, why don't we get to have Good Friday off and the Christian holiday? And I literally was like, some woman that I talk to every day, like every single day. JT knows what I'm talking about. You have those people that you call and talk to every day. And we were talking about it, and I was like, dude, you got to look at it like this. And I feel like people don't. It's like the direction of how the church's perception is with all the little kids stuff coming out and everything you hear about these priests and how many things have just been scrubbed under the rug. It's like people don't want to really support that lifestyle and type deal. And I literally told everybody, I was like, guys, this is another long weekend in summer off. Who cares?
Yeah. People just like to bitch.
I would
for
rather
sure.
have a long weekend in the end of June off than a random Good Friday off.
Yeah, and when does Good Friday fall in the spring?
like
Early
March
spring?
or
Yeah, March, April.
Yeah,
like, what are we arguing
I think
about
that
here?
argument just shouldn't even be one.
It's
Who
just
cares?
something. I just
What's
know how
Juneteenth? Is that the celebrating the? Is that a slavery thing?
Yeah, so the way I understand it, this is how I think might have been Michael B. Jordan. Somebody put an Instagram post up, and I think G Page shared it, and it's like the way that African Americans look at Juneteenth, it's kind of like their Independence Day, like their July 4th. That's when they fully became like free.
every day's Independence
Yeah, that should be a
Day.
holiday.
Dude, it 100% should be a holiday. And I think it's really just the old Bible beater Christian
that's what
type
it
people.
is.
And it's like, guys, listen. One, what are we arguing about here? What are we arguing about? I get it.
You know what that reminded me of? That scene on We're the Millers where he hits that big guy with a wrench or whatever, and it doesn't even affect him. And then the big guy's about to fight him, and Jason Sudeikis is just like, "Why are we fighting?"
Yeah.
That literally just reminded me of that.
I wanted to bring that up because that happened towards the end of the week, and I just find it comical because it's another long summer weekend.
Yeah, like how can you be mad about having a long weekend in the summer?
Yeah,
There's so much shit you can do in the fucking summertime.
And even if it has nothing to do with Juneteenth. Like even if it was just they just weren't having it and we still didn't have Juneteenth off. They were just mad because Good Friday wasn't good.
Yeah, because people get used to shit. You know what I mean? They probably had Good Friday off for decades, right?
Yeah, we did.
That
in school
was probably
too.
a real
Well, I'm sure the Catholic schools will still get it off.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sure you're right though. I'm sure that's been like a long time.
Yeah, it's been a
holiday.
staple. So they're like, "Well, we're losing one that we've had."
Yeah.
You know, it's just
So I found it funny.
boomers.
Because it's like
Boomers are brainwashed.
We're literally just arguing about fucking not having some random March or April weekend off when it's freezing outside.
Yeah, like
what?
who gives a fuck?
You want to go see the Easter Bunny? Is that why you want it off?
Like
shut
what?
the
What are you
fuck
gonna
up.
do on that Friday off in fucking early spring, late winter, whatever the fuck it falls? I know it falls in March or April.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do that June weekend? I'm gonna get outside, get some sun, and
I
yug
don't know
some
if anyone
beers.
remembers, dude. Like into March last year, it was fucking freezing.
It's gonna be so cold. I think up until May.
Well, guess
I
what?
think that's gonna be
I
normal.
think we're down for a cold winter.
I've been seeing a lot of black woolly worms around.
What's that mean?
Yeah, what's
That
the
means a
significance?
long, harsh winter.
Really?
That's what they say. Like if you see a black one, it's supposed to be like a really bad winter. And I've seen a couple of them.
Maybe it'll. Well, didn't it? It snowed on Christmas last year.
It did.
Didn't it?
Well,
did.
that was a nice white Christmas. I loved it.
There's
That was classic.
truly, again, guys, my favorite time of the year is about to start. Wednesday hits, Thanksgiving Eve, all the way till January 2nd. I was just talking to Steve about it. I'm like, just the weather makes it nice, but taking out the weather, like that's the best time of the year.
Oh yeah.
What is it? What are we saying?
The
So
holiday season.
the holiday season.
Oh, the full. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stupid.
No, you're
No,
good.
you-
It's
no,
you
you're
were
not,
saying
man.
Wednesday hits is the start of it because it's Thanksgiving Eve.
facts.
What's anyone doing anything?
I think truly this is what I want to do. I want to go somewhere like the Hole or
Low
like
key.
the Bridge Tavern, Alpha somewhere, and just get there at like 5 or 6.
Bridge Tavern be lit.
That's what I said. We
Yeah.
should go there if
Do
we
the
want to go
bridge.
somewhere.
I'm down.
5
Yeah.
or 6, drink for a couple hours, and then just be home by
Yeah,
like 10 or
just
11.
I'm
chill.
not
Yeah.
because this is listen. Everyone's hungover body is different. When I'm hungover, I can't eat,
Yes.
like literally, and
Yes.
it's like I want to eat and enjoy my freaking food.
Yeah,
Facts.
I'm not. Yeah, I had no intentions of doing a
Same.
like blackout Thanksgiving Eve night. No way, dude. Bridge Tavern sounds like
Yeah.
like a plan.
Yeah, somewhere
I
like
would love
that.
to go there.
Be very cool.
And they revamped it in there too. Like they redid
Dude, it's
the whole
legit
thing.
in there now, man.
I haven't been. I've never
I
been
never
like
there.
that.
been.
I like that place. Period. I've drank there
Yeah,
plenty.
a
of
lot of my
times.
friends like the bridge. I've never been there.
Let's
we'll
take
have to
over.
go.
The Juice Box takes over
That's what I'm
the
saying.
bridge.
We need to find our own place where not everyone's at. You know, like I was saying before, just kind of your own little low key place to go to.
get the word out. Let's do that.
I literally dead ass want to do stand up comedy, dude.
I
Let's
think
do
it'd
it.
be fun.
I know this is so
Like
random.
real one or like us do it.
Like either or. Like I feel like I know this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like something humbles you and could really rid anxiety type situations when if you go up in front of a crowd and say things that you think are funny and you just get skunked. I honestly
Yeah.
think that just humbles you and brings you down. to
Honestly,
earth.
That has to be a terrible feeling.
Yeah, I was about to say that
Like-
sound. That sound. Like, do we need brought down to earth?
See, like-
I feel like us three aren't people that are like full of themselves.
No,
But
yeah.
the way I mean it as is if that's the worst thing in your life, nothing else will bother you.
Yeah.
I would love to do what JT
I think it
said
would be
and
really
do
fun.
some like comedy nights like here in this
we
basement.
where you just record it and then
Yeah.
put it on YouTube.
and
But-
like that would be a great and if there was like one of us where we were like, okay, dude, like you actually have good material, then you could try it out somewhere. There's places in Pittsburgh. I know a girl I was friends with that lives in Pittsburgh. Her roommate at the time, he was doing stand up like every Saturday in Pittsburgh at one of the stand up bars. Like I think it's like an open mic night type
Yeah.
thing. And like, dude, that takes balls because
Yeah, it
there's a
does.
lot of people in there watching him.
That's what I was saying. Me and Jacob talked about this before, and I'm like, that takes huge fucking nuts.
sure.
Because like I don't care to get embarrassed. Like I don't get embarrassed easy. Like if I do something and people laugh at me, I'm like, oh whatever. But like that kind of scenario, like that has to be tough. Like if you have something prepared and it doesn't go well, like that has to be one of the worst feelings. Like
It's funny we're
Yeah.
talking about this because, all week, I have to say, who Dan Patrick is?
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, first of all,
You mean the guy that's in the Adam Sandler movies?
but he's got his sports talk show.
Yeah.
First of all, he gets a lot of celebrities on as guests, and then they don't end up talking about sports. So like I listen to him almost like a podcast. Dude, he has Adam Sandler on all the time. First off, I have to say Adam Sandler, the dude's a fucking all-timer.
He's awesome.
He's an all-timer.
I mean, he is the coolest down to earth guy. But they were talking about stand-up comedy and how some of Dan Patrick's, because he's got like his little crew there with him, have been dipping into doing stand-up acts and stuff, and how like his one guy, I think his name's Fritzy, just fucking like bombed, like
Really?
bad, and they had footage of it. And like that's such an awkward feeling where
Yeah.
like you get to the punchline of your joke and no one laughs.
yeah.
And like that's exactly what happened. And it's like I had secondhand awkward.
Yeah,
It's
see,
like-
like that has to be like
But it's
so
again, it's just
demoralizing.
anything else. Like
Yeah.
you just got to practice.
It would
right?
be great. I feel like I would just lay out some joke that I think would be so funny, and nobody would laugh, and I would just start laughing.
You'd
and be
start
like, I'd be
laughing,
like,
right.
"Fuck you guys,
Like,
dude. That was funny."
I feel like I'd be the type to laugh at my own jokes too.
Yeah. I'd be like, "What? How aren't you guys laughing right now?" And then that's when you just start ripping people in the crowd and light them up.
Dude, I mean, like I love
Be like-
stand up. I like Bill Burr a lot. I think he does great stand up.
Well, that's the tale. That's how he got. He was already a comedian, but that's how he got really big.
Yeah.
He has an infamous show in Philadelphia where the crowd was so rough for the comic before, and he came up and just didn't really
Like,
do a
played
set.
off that?
He fucking ripped the whole fucking crowd, and they were recording it, and that's when he started blowing up
Well,
after that.
Honestly, I think to me, like, who has like, because for me at least, stand up, you have to have like a cadence, in my opinion, like how you say things and like when you deliver them and stuff. Jake, I don't know if you know her, Taylor Tomlinson.
The best.
Like
She's
her,
good.
yeah, like her cadence and how she delivers her jokes, like she is so funny. Like you should look.
Yeah.
She's not like huge. You should look her up though, because she is just so funny.
I mean, a lot of it is like it's a timed
Yeah.
thing, and it's an act. But then you have some guys, like I think like Bill Burr, who can play off the crowd like that, and in that moment, it's an improvised thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So like if you have that element to it, you know, you're gold. You're good. You know what I mean?
There's nothing better than seeing videos of good crowd work from comedians.
Yeah, it's great. It really is. Like if you could play off the crowd and not just stick, like again, it should be a calculated thing. But if you have the ability to play off the crowd, not stick to like your
Yeah.
script,
Oh, yeah.
so-called script, then you're awesome. But again, like another thing, like Sandler was talking with Dan Patrick about like guys that he's known and met and about their stand-up acts. He's talking about like Robin Williams, who like when he would do stand-up, he'd be in one of his bits telling one joke, but he would always be thinking like 3 jokes ahead. So it's like all like had it all calculated
Connected.
down. It's just crazy, dude. Like they worked super hard on that stuff.
One of the guys Rogan always talks about is he would say Martin Lawrence would just light up comedy rooms. And I guess Mitzi Shore purposely, when Joe was first coming up, would put him after Martin Lawrence.
Oh, that's
and
rough.
He was
Yeah.
like, it's the best thing she ever did, but it was terrible at the time because he would just light the room on fire.
Dude, Martin Lawrence has hilarious stand up. I've watched a lot of it on YouTube.
He's funny,
as
dude.
fuck, dude. I just watched Alden told me to watch what's his name? Segura.
Oh, he's
Have you
great.
seen his Pac-Man Jones stand up joke?
I don't think.
I don't know.
Dude,
I don't.
It's fucking hilarious. And I mean, I think maybe it's a little bit. It's funny regardless, but it's a little bit funnier being like a WVU
Yeah.
fan and knowing who Pac-Man is. You have to look it up. Just that joke is on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Dude, one of the best podcasts in the world right now is Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. 2 Bears, 1 Cave.
Yeah.
It's dude.
I know they're good friends, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I love that I'm like in that world and pay attention to that stuff because they're all those comedians that are friends with each other are just fucking incredible.
I'm excited for that movie about
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Jimmy
Yeah, the
Tatro, my dude.
machine.
I'm excited for that.
But so Snoop Dogg was just on Rogan, and they pulled up a clip that was on YouTube. It only had like 4,000 views, and it's a video of like Snoop Dogg, Biggie, Tupac, all those young guys freestyling together on the stage before any of the like East Coast, West Coast stuff really started. And it was crazy to just see how young they all were, just being super fucking friendly. And Snoop Dogg was like, the media is what made that whole East Coast and West Coast
Yeah.
thing as big as it was. And they were all just boys clowning on stage, freestyling. It was just crazy.
Isn't that sad?
It is sad.
Yeah.
It's very fucking
That's another
sad.
one of those things, dude. I think people, you know, everyone has their own opinion, but like to me, Mac Miller is my above everyone else when it comes to rapping, but I think Biggie Smalls is my number 2.
Oh, I love Biggie.
I love Biggie, and it's just another one of those things. Like I'm a huge Nirvana fan, and it's just like kind of like you're always asking like the what if, what how much music they were so young when they died. There's so much music that they could have written still and released, and you're just always thinking like, what if?
It's incredible to think that Tupac and Biggie would still be making tracks right now.
Isn't that crazy?
It's wild.
That is crazy. How old would they be? Like
They'd be like
40?
Snoop Dogg's age, like 50 years old,
Yeah.
probably.
That's so wild to me because like those years in college, so like say like 2010 up to like 2016 era, like I stopped kind of listening to rap after 2016. Not all of rap, but some of it. I just didn't. The mainstream stuff didn't connect with me. I didn't like it, but
Same.
you know what I'm saying? Like through those years, we got like Snoop Dogg and like older rappers still being featured on younger rappers' songs through those years. So like we would have had like Biggie and Tupac, like you said, still getting featured on songs. That would have been crazy.
Dude, I always just think like when Rick Ross was like big. Imagine a Rick Ross and Biggie song.
That'd be sick.
Whoa, that would be really
fucking
cool.
Biggie just
The
comes
big
in as if he's
boys.
just like, "Duh-ba-duh," like just
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
spitting so hard.
Dude, that would be so
Right?
sick.
It's so
Yeah.
awesome, man. You're always asking yourself the what if, but then sometimes you have to look at it like as from the perspective of like Nirvana and like Biggie Smalls, two good examples. Those are two different, like one's a band, one's an artist. You look at their catalog of songs, and you're like, they didn't make one bad song. So it's almost kind of like, what they could have made some bad stuff.
Yeah,
And,
like it
now
could
they
have gone
have,
worse
like,
for 'em.
Right, they
Yeah.
have an untainted legacy
Yeah.
as it stands. You
Dude,
know what I
you're
mean?
right,
You're
like-
always on
Yeah.
the both
I
sides
never even
of it.
thought of it like that. Like, what if that didn't happen to them? Would they still be as talked about,
Right.
like how they are now?
Right. Like you go down
Yeah.
as a legend, but if you didn't die, like was everything still gonna? Were you
Yeah,
still gonna?
I never thought of that like
yeah,
that way
You just
before.
you just don't.
Well, dude,
It's
that
crazy.
that episode was incredible. It was like of course, like a 4-hour episode, and it's like taking two dudes from completely. Joe's a white guy who got big and famous from like podcasting and UFC and all that stuff, and he is just extremely nervous the entire episode because Snoop Dogg's in there, and he says
I mean,
it.
think about
He
that.
says
Yeah.
it multiple times. He's like, I'm going to be honest with you, Snoop. Towards the end, he's like, we started off this episode and I was way too high, and I just kept looking at you, and I was like, I cannot believe Snoop Dogg's sitting across from me right now. Like,
Are they
bringing,
probably about the same age, probably, right?
yeah, Snoop Dogg. I think
Yeah.
he said's like 50, and Joe's like 54, 55.
Yeah.
And that's one cool thing about podcasting too, is you just can bring people together from completely different ways of life, and they're just talking back and forth. And Snoop Dogg was saying how, growing up, hip hop wasn't really that big of a mainstream thing, so they're singing like old rock songs and all that stuff. Snoop Dogg he's like, this is what we listen to on the radio. It's just, I don't know. It was a very, very cool ass episode.
That is very true. I've never really even thought of that.
They were singing Eagle songs,
yeah,
or
like
something.
someone that's super into music. You're right. Like hip hop is a relatively new type of music still.
Well, they-
even to this day, like if you go into the
Yeah.
80s was like the start of it.
They
And
break it down. It's like it's only like 30 or 40 years
Yeah,
old.
if you listen to hip hop from the 80s, you're like, this is real, like very stripped down. Like you could tell it was just the beginnings.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And that's one thing they were talking about, because they were like the year where like Ice-T stuff came out and NWA, and there's a couple people before that I'm missing. That was just a completely new thing.
Yeah.
They just made that whole art up, and forever it's always been country songs and rock songs, and they were making jokes because Snoop Dogg was like, it's funny to see how homophobic like hip hop is and rap is. He's like, could you imagine a country singer? And he starts singing, he's like, yeah, I just went down to the gas station and there was a bunch of gays, like stuff like that. He's like, could you imagine a country person making a song like
Right.
that? It was a completely new art form just overnight.
Seriously was. I mean, and it evolved fast. I think the 90s hip hop sound is probably the top time for hip hop. I truly believe that. Like it was has such a cool sound, the 90s. Everything about the 90s is sick. Can't even front on it, dude. Like I love 90s culture so much. You listen to those old school rappers from the 90s, like Biggie, Tupac, but even like Tribe Called Quest, and like who was the other dude signed with sign with Biggie.
Um,
He kind of like fell off because of Biggie, because Biggie took all the spotlight from.
I'm literally blanking. I know exactly who you're
he
talking
sings
about.
Flavor in your ear. Craig Mack.
Yeah.
There's so many from that era, dude. Like, so awesome.
For sure.
Wu-Tang was awesome.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna jump to a completely different type of thing. So Danny Lopriori was just on KFC radio,
Oh, I didn't know. I'll have to listen to that.
and they were talking like, what is the signature movie from like our high school years? Like KFC was like,
That's
mine was
easy.
old school, and
How old is he?
36.
Okay, that makes sense.
So like when he was in
Okay.
high school, college, that was a big one. Danny was like, his was super bad.
Yeah, that would definitely be
I was
ours.
I was gonna go.
Yeah, because I would think that would have to be ours
Super
too.
bad.
He's 32, I think, so we're right around that point.
Yeah.
Super Bad, or when I don't know when Project X came
Okay,
out.
If he's 32, then what year did Superbad come out?
2008. That's what I thought.
Eight?
That's
yeah,
ours.
so he was out of high
Hi-
school if he's 32.
Yeah. Well, and then the younger kids started throwing out movies. 21 Jump Street's one.
Yeah,
That would be a good
I was
one.
gonna say. Well, yeah. Now that I think about it,
Yours was probably like
Was yours 21 Jump Street?
21 Jump Street.
No, 21 Jump Street would have came out after The Hangover, maybe.
I never was really super. I'm trying to think.
The Hangover.
No, 21
came out,
Jump Street came out in 2012. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Really?
21 Jump Street probably. Well, I was gonna say, when did Project X come out?
I think that same time.
Yeah,
It was. Project X came out in 2000 because I can remember where I was living when it came out. It was 2012. Yeah.
Well, they were talking about movies because they were saying they're kind of sad for the younger people growing up because they don't know if they'll get movies like that
They will.
anymore.
They'll have theirs. That
There's-
maybe it might be in movies that we've not heard of.
yeah.
Dude,
honestly.
one of the best recent ones is Good Boy. Good Boys.
I'm not
Is that when little kid or
It's
little
it's
kids,
with the
right?
little sixth graders. It's Seth Rogen.
Oh
and
yeah, that movie's hilarious.
Movie's
Is that what that's called? Is Good Boys?
Good Boys, I think.
Is it?
I believe so.
I've watched it multiple times. That movie is funny.
so funny.
dude. I
dude.
love the black kid. It cracked me.
Oh,
up.
dude.
He's like, this is gonna go on our permanent record,
Dude,
cracks me
he's
up.
the best character in the whole
He
movie.
is. He's
Dude,
so
let's
funny.
go back to that permanent record. What the fuck is a permanent? Do you remember that? You always
would
like,
always
that's
say
gonna
that.
go on your permanent record. Well, where the fuck is my permanent
Yeah,
record
can I-
now?
I always
Where
used
is
to think people would always talk about permanent record, and I'd be like, so we're in grade school, and I'd be like, so they have to have a cabinet in the main office with our permanent records in it, right? Like that's what I always used to think, but I just don't think there was anything there. I don't think it was a real thing.
It's all a lie. It's kind of like how we would get ready for Santa Claus.
The way they used to
just
describe
like-
it
yeah, like
was like
what?
there was a big cave of rocks, and every time something would go on your permanent record, they'd go in and chisel it. So everybody going forward would know that Jake on this day did this, and it's chiseled
yeah,
in
like
history.
literally, like it's
Yeah.
a big fucking what it reminds me of is going to the orthodontist for like 6 years, and you go in there and they have your chart like every time something's done. Like I still have to go to the orthodontist to get my retainer checked, and I'll look at my chart. It goes all the way back to like 2003. It's crazy. Like that's what that reminds me of. Like
Yeah.
permanent record. Yeah, on November 15th, 2001, Zarly he said a cuss word or something and got caught. You know what I mean? Like stupid shit.
That day's pizza privileges got revoked.
Yeah.
He had to sit for 15 minutes during recess and didn't get to partake.
I'm like pissed
in
about this,
football.
honestly. That's just childhood, unnecessary childhood trauma.
But
you put
what
on
sucks?
people.
What sucks
Like-
is if you really think about all the shit that we really were taught and raised on in that kind of sense, it's all just scare tactics.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's
It's
like-
just so that you like behave at the time.
Yeah. It's like, dude, we just got lied to all the time.
Just
about
say,
shit.
hey, Jake, quit being an asshole
Yeah.
or you're not going to get Christmas presents. Okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do it.
All right. That's all you had to say.
Yeah, be like, Jake, hey, Jake, quit being a fucking asshole or you're not going to have any friends when you're in high school.
There you go.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Quit being a dick.
Hey, do you want to know what I'm going to do so I can make sure I have friends? Stop being an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good advice.
If you don't listen to the hey, you know what's going to happen? JT, you little fourth grader, if you don't stop hassling the teachers and you don't learn stuff, you're going to go to high school and you're going to go to college and you're just going to fail out of college because you don't listen to any of your teachers and you're going to end up on the street like a homeless person.
This has just opened up a whole can of worms for me, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, JT.
I can admit I was not the best student, but it's not because I wasn't smart. It's because the shit didn't interest me. I'm sorry. Like, I just had other shit going through my mind. That's just how I was. I was interested in other things.
Yeah, which that's very fair.
It is fair, and I think it's more
Maybe
common,
the school
dude.
system
like,
was just did it wrong.
Quit trying to shoehorn kids into a certain. Oh,
Yeah,
they have
I
this
agree
wrong
with
with
that.
them, or they have this wrong with them. The teachers try to tell my parents that I had ADHD. I don't have fucking ADHD. I just don't give a shit about what you're fucking saying. Plain and simple.
I
That's
get
what
like
it
there's
is.
certain things that we have to learn about just to be a functioning human, but like there comes to a point where I get like maybe they do need to change it, like where you learn what you want to learn about, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
I can agree with that. Once you're past grade school, like it should start in high school. Like you should start going down the path that you want to go down. And I feel like students would be a lot more attentive if that's the way we did it. Like I said, my grades might not show. My grades would probably tell you if how a teacher would look at my grades. They'd be like, "Well, that kid just wasn't smart." Fuck that. I'm like very street smart. Dude. Like, I would consider myself pretty knowledgeable person and could survive in the fucking world. And I think that's what matters.
Here's all you got to do, and I'm stealing this idea, but it's like, do what Colorado did. Legalize weed and invest a lot of the taxes and money into education.
Absolutely.
And
if West Virginia, more than most states, needs that.
If you legalize weed and you have all that money and you invest 30%, 25% into education, all it will do is give kids more of an opportunity, one, to go to school and get educated, and two, you'll be able to have the money and the funds to open up different kind of things like you guys are talking about, like a school or college for life skills and a school of college for internet personalities. And then if you want to get educated the old school way, you should be allowed. Go ahead, get educated the old school way.
Yeah, like I said, you should almost treat grade school like if you look at it from a college perspective, like your GEC years, right?
Yeah.
Like you're learning all the basic stuff that you need to learn. You hit high school, you should start to be able to pick what path you want to go down in life. Because think of it this way. You get to high school. I learned algebra in 8th grade. Do you really need algebra, just algebra, to survive in the world?
No.
Probably not, right?
I don't even remember algebra.
But then you get to high school and then you start, well, now you're going to learn what? Fucking
Dude,
Calc
the
1.
ones you don't need
algebra.
to, yeah.
And it's like, you're wasting my time in high school. If
Yeah.
I don't want to learn that, I shouldn't have to learn that.
Yeah, like other than engineering where you actually use like these math formulas and stuff, like what the hell is trigonometry? Like why are we learning? Think of like what do you use trigonometry for?
You don't.
You
Like I need to. Thank God I can learn how to find the cosine of frickin' 2x. Like what the fuck is
Do you
that?
want me to keep my attention? Teach me how to get likes, views, and get me in the algorithm. If you want me to get straight A's, teach me how to do that stuff. Don't teach me what happens when a rock hits another rock while it's raining. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if sand is old, grinded down rocks that were from the ocean. It's cool. I'm happy I know that. But do I need to take a class on that for a whole year? No. I don't fucking need to know that stuff.
Teach life skills. Like, you should start learning life skills in high school.
Dude,
as well.
they literally need to have a class for opening your own
Yeah,
business.
like, yes.
I think that would
I
be
agree.
a huge one.
There should be classes on that, like, paying your taxes, doing your taxes, everything. Buying a home, like all the things that you'll do in life that you could technically start doing when you're 18. You should learn that in high school.
Yeah, and I just want to say, whoever the ghost was that's trying to make my job harder and stopping the episode and stopping the video so I have to worry about it, I know who you are, ghost, and I don't appreciate you. Don't do that shit because now I'm sitting here thinking, am I going to be able to get a full
quit
video?
thinking about it.
Yeah, we're fine.
It's fine.
The
We'll figure
episode
it
cut
out.
out. We're back in it. The video will be an easy splice. JT does it every day. He edits his morning milk.
Yeah, so whoever just did that, fuck you. I know who did it, but fuck you.
Yeah. We'll be fine. We'll get it on there, and then we'll just kick it old school, and it'll be fine.
So there's two big things left that we need to talk about. So let's start with this one. Oh.
Yes. Halo Infinite.
Pumped.
I mean, there hasn't been a new Halo game since 2015. And they surprise dropped it on us this past Monday,
Which
the
is
20th anniversary of Halo.
Which is fire.
Oh wait, so nobody knew? Like no one knew when it was coming out.
Like it was supposed to release, the full game was supposed to release in December, and some leaker or hacker, whatever you want to call him, found like data mining stuff and he's posted online. He's like, I think it's gonna surprise release on Monday, and everyone was like, no, you're full of shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not going to get my heart broke thinking this. And it did surprise release on Monday. So, just the multiplayer, though. The campaign will come out.
How's the gameplay?
It's good. It feels good. It's a classic Halo game. I mean, it's a fun game. It really is.
Refresh my memory here. What games are there? How many people to a team?
Game types. So Halo at its core is 4v4 games. You know, there's capture the flag, there's strongholds, which is like King of the Hill kind of. Oddball,
I forgot about Oddball.
Yeah. Team Slayer, which is like the classic like team deathmatch. There's other game types too that aren't in it yet. They're gonna add them. Like there's one flag where like one flag is there's just one flag in the middle. Both teams are going for. They'll add like shoddy snipes. Stuff like that. Team SWAT probably eventually. Then there's big team battle, which is in this game it's 12v12. So big games of like capture the flag where that's where like all the vehicles and all the madness is going on.
So is that where we're gonna dominate?
Big team.
Who's your do you have a four yet?
I mean, like I've played a couple different 4 squads. I've played some games with Sith and like one of his buddies and Alden. I played my brother and his friend. In Alden.
So there's a lot of people that are playing basically.
Yeah, but last night like we had like 9 people on a big team battle squad and it was legit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like that big team battle's fun when you have like all your boys in one big party.
Well, dude, and I was texting you, I was texting Sith, like I got the Xbox hook. Like Halo's one of those games for me is that is back in the day, kids. Getting online gaming was huge.
Yeah.
It was massive.
So I remember the day that my mom and dad allowed me to drill a hole through the floor and run a 50-foot wire from the router to my Xbox in my old room in the basement. And I remember the day going to Best Buy, buying the card, and playing online Halo for the first time.
You went and bought a gold membership.
I will never forget that.
No, the 360 days, Xbox 360, those the golden days. I'll never forget it either, dude. Like getting online gaming was the coolest fucking thing.
You were so cool if you had.
It was the
online gaming.
coolest, and I'm actually feeling a nostalgic feeling in my chest.
I got it running through.
I feel it in my chest right now. Like there's 3 games from that era that I will say like cemented that era. It was Gears 1, Halo 3, and COD 4. They were all kind of in the same like 2-year span, and it just blew up.
So mine was Halo 3, Modern Warfare 2,
Yes.
and NHL
Yeah, dude.
2011.
Yeah, so
I was
like
gonna
Club-
say NHL.
Club on NHL was so much fun. Yeah, so like Modern Warfare 2 was huge, but that was like you know what I mean? There was
Yeah. Well, for
the
me,
start of Xbox Live, like when the 360 came out, it was like those 3 games like blew it up, and then more just started coming out. Like even like World at War was the first COD that introduced zombies. I just remember being like we'd rush home from school from Central and get on, and like there we'd have 4 of us just playing zombies. Like so much fun.
Do you remember me just yelling playing NHL?
Oh yeah,
Dude, Club got heated. Dude, it actually hit the point where like we had like there was
There was rival teams.
Yeah, there was like 3 different groups of kids at Central that had like their own NHL club team, and like sometimes you could play other clubs by invite.
Oh, yeah.
And it'd be like, dude, I'd get the same exact feeling I would have if I was like playing the rival team in real hockey, like if we were playing Park.
Dude,
I'm not even kidding.
I remember plain as day. Me, Neil, and Greskovich would always play you. I forget who was on your team.
We had a couple of different ones, but normally it was me, Ty, Casey Hancock would play goalie.
Yeah.
And we'd have PJ.
Dude, I remember
brother.
there was some legit games where like there was battles going on in the chats, and like we would make parties so we all couldn't talk to each other because it got so bad at a point.
Dude, club, and a lot of people don't remember this because it's different now. Club is like the overhead view, like you're just playing a normal game. But back then, it was a zoomed-in view, like, of your character.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, dude. That's crazy.
It was. I can remember another Dustin Henry's club. We had, like, a big rivalry with them. It was like him and Tim Morandi.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, dude.
Yeah.
That got heated. Tim Morandi and I were in the same home room, and, like, words were said.
Really?
But I'm not kidding. Over
I believe
fucking
it.
NHL club, dude. Like, words were said in the party the night before. And then it boiled over into homeroom the next morning, and like, dude, heated rivalries.
Dude, Xbox Live is where I started cussing, like legit. Like, me and I would start. Chance is you guys know, like Chance is a fucking gamer.
Oh yeah.
And I started playing Modern Warfare 2 with him, and I was terrible. But like, and I couldn't. We were in these open chats, and like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I'd never been in anything like that before. And everyone's just like, motherfucking this, you fucking pussy, I'll fuck your mom, shit like that.
Dude,
I was like culture shocked. I was like, this is crazy.
And you know, the crazy thing is that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because back then, party chats weren't a thing yet. So, like, your chats were in-game lobbies.
True.
So, like, I can remember, like, you'd get on with your friends and you'd start a pre-game lobby before you went into a game, and that's where you would sit and chat with your boys.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you'd go into the game, and it's not really like that anymore. Like, yeah, some people are talking in the games, but most people are in a party chat with their friends. But you're right, and it was you know, it was the craziest thing back then, like those old school COD lobbies. They were filled with British people.
Yeah.
And they'd just be ripping Americans.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "You fucking Yanks!
Yeah.
You fucking like
You bloody
They'd be like,
wankers!"
They'd be like, "You're fucking obese with your McDonald's and and all this shit." And we'd start ripping them back and be like, I'd be like, "Fuck your queen! You got a queen! You fucking losers!" Like all
you
this
listen
stuff.
to a fucking white queen, you pussies.
I was like, "You got, dude, it's just hilarious
yeah,
shit." But you're right. Like, I didn't really talk like that before that.
I did not. And Jake, when did you get your Xbox Live all set up? How old do you think you were? Like a freshman or a sophomore?
I think I was a sophomore
That
or
sounds right.
junior in high school.
8th grade time-ish sounds right for me when I started doing like. I couldn't believe like my ears, like how people were talking, and then it just carried over into my life, and here I am. I motherfuck everything.
Motherfuck everything.
Dude,
Every other word.
I still have the goosebumps. Like it's. I know it sounds so weird. It's such a weird thing to say, but I remember the first day I got Xbox Live. Like I remember how excited I was.
It too, man.
I was like, "Oh my god, dude! Like we really can like run a wire through." And my dad made me do it and watched me, and I drilled the hole and we ran the thing through and hooked it up. And I was like, I remember just sitting down in the Halo 3 lobby, amazed. I'm really playing with people from all over the world right now. It was it was like an unknown thing. Before, it was 3, 4, 5 years before that. Maybe 2, 3 years, I'm going and playing LAN battles at Mike Savolda's house.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that's what video games were. And then all of a sudden, I can just sit in my own house and play with you while you're sitting in your house?
It's amazing, right? And it's such a... I feel like...
I sound like a boomer.
I feel like my significant other, Brooke, doesn't realize it. Like, it's been such an integral... Is that the word? Integral part of my... being. That's the word, right?
Integral? I don't know.
It's been such an integral part of who I am.
Intricate?
Like, no, it's integral.
Integral.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
It's integral.
Of who I am, like since I got Xbox Live in 2006. I can remember. Got the 360 for Christmas. I was fucking so pumped. Got Xbox Live. And like, dude, I'm an online gamer. I love it.
I love it too.
It's just such a big part of my life. But like going back to those pregame lobbies, the COD ones were super toxic, but the Halo ones were toxic as well. But nothing compared to Gears of War lobbies. I'm not kidding. Brutal, ruthless, fucking like shit talking. Because I've said it before, but like Gears of War is one of those games. I still play it to this day. Like when I play that game, it's the only game I play where I'm like, I have this like immense competitive nature come over me. Like I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
I'm like, take it super seriously. Back then, it was so like I was playing on game battles ladders. Like you get in these competitive games, dude. Like I had a clan that was like ranked in the top 25 in the world. We beat the #1 clan in the world.
Damn.
Whoa.
We beat the #1 clan on the game battles team ladder in the world. And I'll never forget the shit talking in the lobby. It was like, dude, ruthless fucking stuff. But like it was just that competitive nature type thing. I don't know. It was just a weird feeling, dude.
Well, dude, I remember going back to like the sports games. I remember that same NHL where club was big. I was ranked in like the top 1,000 in versus at one point. I remember taking a picture of it on my phone and just being so excited, like, this is where I rank in the whole world of like playing people. And it's that was just, it was such a new feeling, new thing that just ran through your head.
I was never ranked in any games. Like I was just out in the Minecraft world, just digging up, looking for diamonds and shit. That was my that was my thing.
It's fire,
dude. Minecraft. I know that was a few years later, but Minecraft, like how you were explaining your games, like that was a huge part of my
Minecraft
gaming,
was a big game.
dude. Like
you would play Minecraft for hours.
I do, and I mean, which you're a gamer. You played for hours. I would come home from school and play for like 9 hours straight, and like just building and literally just building shit and digging for shit.
I've never played Minecraft, but my little brother was.
Dude, I was
obsessed with it.
Yeah, like we were like obsessed with Minecraft.
And that's why I'm excited Halo's back, because other than NHL, Halo is probably like the best game me personally, the best game I was good at.
And Halo 3, dude, like, in my opinion, there's still not been a Halo to top Halo 3.
Halo 3 was the best.
It was the best in the era, and everything you could do on it. Forge was new. Like, everyone was coming up with these custom games they were making. That's what people need to realize, too, about this new one that is out right now. It's still technically a beta. Like, only the multiplayer's out. Just wait here in the coming weeks, like when we start getting like custom games browsers and like everything else is added, we're gonna have so much fun playing it, dude.
I can't wait.
We're gonna get into some like really fun custom games where you're just playing like some silly type of game, but it's just so much fun.
I'm excited to play tonight, dude. I got my headset out that I bought during Warfare. Like, I'm ready.
Hell yeah.
Everything's upgraded, but let's jump to it.
We have
Go
to.
ahead.
Time's running out. It's almost game time.
Go ahead.
Spider-Man, No Way Home. Official second trailer came out. There was a huge event in LA. Sold out crowd. Tom Holland was there. What are you guys thinking of the trailer?
I thought the trailer was unreal. And I'm kind of bothered and bugged a little bit that the Brazilian trailer came out and it shows the lizard getting punched, because that doesn't happen in our trailer.
Yeah, I know. It's weird how it differs in countries, which I don't understand.
Dude, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So part of me's thinking like, was that done on purpose? And then the other part of me is like kind of annoyed that it happened, because I think the trailer was absolutely phenomenal. The best part for me is when Doc Ock is just piecing up Spider-Man and he slams him against the post and he takes his mask off and you hear Doc Ock go, "You're not Peter Parker."
Yeah.
Like,
people don't realize, like, that was like a huge part of it.
dude, that was, to me, that was the biggest part of the trailer.
Because realistically, everyone has their theories of the movie and stuff, but nobody really knows like what it is. Like, we don't know if they just brought these actors back to play these characters. Like, we don't know if they're supposed to be the same ones from 2000 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And then the fact like that he slams him up against the wall and his mask comes off and he's like, "You're not Peter Parker." Like, like dang, like he's thinking that's Toby.
Toby, right?
Yeah.
Here's a couple things that stood out to me. I thought the trailer was great. Couple things. Doctor Strange talks about all the villains and their destiny was they all died fighting Spider-Man. So that tells us that they're all gonna have to die again.
Yeah.
Or else shit's gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of dark, a dark element.
Well, yeah.
So they're gonna have to kill these villains, barring something else happens in the movie we don't know. I'm sure we've only seen an inkling of what's gonna be in the movie. The other big thing that stood out to me is that a lot of people were saying, and I don't know if this is true or not. Yes, I saw the lizard getting punched, and people were saying they edited out Toby and Andrew, but they're saying when is her name MJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's MJ, right? She falls. Gwen falls in the Amazing Spider-Man ones. People were saying it's like going to be a redemption thing.
Yes.
For Andrew
That's
Garfield.
what I want to happen.
Well, people were saying that you can tell that because it shows the quick clip of like the hands,
And it's his suit.
and it's his suit.
Because
It's not.
which we don't know how
I
many
didn't
suits
catch
Tom
that in the
Holland
beginning.
is going to
I
have.
didn't either. That was on Reddit. Someone pointed that out.
Because if you look, like, other than, I think, Homecoming, like, Tom Holland's Spider-Man suits aren't, like, red and that bright blue.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see on that hand, it's red and that's blue.
Dude, did Kristen Dunst fall in one movie too? Because there's like that edit that.
Well, there's a couple of times when she was falling.
I was gonna say she fell multiple.
Yeah. Like,
So one of the wild things that I just started thinking of yesterday and today, it's like we're all thinking about all the different Spider-Men that can come in, but who's to say like we're not going to get both Green Goblins? Like who's to say we're not going to get the Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man Green Goblin? Who's to say that there's not going to be Miles Morales in the movie?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
know.
Like there's so many different things that can actually happen. What if we get the Amazing Spider-Man different looking Electro too? Like
that's why I'm like a couple things with the villains. You're like, is this the same Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2, or is it a Electro variant? Like, and Sandman.
Sandman,
He
exactly.
didn't die in Spider-Man 3, so is this like a different Sandman variant too? Like, shit like that. And it's like I obviously want to see Toby and Andrew in it, but people are forgetting, like, we actually don't know if they're in the movie or not.
Right.
And I'm letting it be known, like, if they're not in it, it's not going to ruin the movie for me. Like, I want to enjoy this movie. I could seriously see, because if you see in a part of the trailer, I mean, it shows that Electro is blasting Dr. Octopus. So, like, I could see, like, Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin somehow, like, making amends with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and those are the three fighting the other three villains.
Well, and also,
you know what
too,
I mean? You don't know, like, who's fighting who.
And
that's a good point.
One of the main things that they talk about is that box that Doctor Strange has, that Peter Parker, Tom Holland shoots his web and picks up, and that's when him and Doctor Strange start going at it. How do we know that, like, that big scene where they're coming out of the sky isn't in the very beginning? Because that box supposedly is supposed to have all of them in it, and he's going to get ready to transport them back to their universes. We might have an instance where there's two fight scenes with Green Goblin, and they're two different Green Goblins. Yeah. And there's so many. I mean, Venom could show up in it. Another thing I saw, when Lizard gets punched in the face, some people were like, "What if that's Ant-Man?"
Ant-Man, yeah.
Like there's so many different things that truly can happen. But I am convinced now. I agree with you 100%, but I am convinced now that the other two have to be in this movie. And if they're not, I won't be upset. But there's so many leaked, quote unquote, pictures that are coming out. Then you see this trailer and you can see those places.
Yeah, I think they're in it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do think so too.
Yeah, but I also think we're gonna. There's a lot more surprises in store than just those two.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see other cool stuff that we didn't think of.
I think because like they've been compared, not like random people. Like I can't remember who said it. Like I don't think it was Kevin Feige. Somebody said this is like Spider-Man Endgame. So like we could get obviously them as Spider-Man. We could get fucking a bunch of other random Spider-Mans coming through
because that
the
scene
multiverse.
where he's like, they're coming and I can't stop them.
Yeah.
To me, that implies like there's a
lot.
shit ton of people coming through the dimension or the portal or whatever.
Think about this. We could get an Ed Norton Hulk.
You could get anything.
We could get a Terrence Howard War Eagle. He was
War
Don
Machine.
Cheadle's what's his name?
War Machine.
War Machine.
Yeah.
War Eagle. Go Auburn. Bo Nix.
Who are we talking about? Oh yeah, no, okay,
He was Don Cheadle's character in the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
There's so many like little things that we really could see, and I guess they said the Doctor Strange reshoots that came out were reshoots of stars and people that were doing other things and doing other movies, and that's why they're doing reshoot scenes. Like this Spider-Man movie is going to set up the Doctor, and that's one thing I keep forgetting. The Spider-Man movie's the quote-unquote intro to Doctor Strange's madness in the multiverse.
Right.
There's like the movies should be connected. We could see Wanda. Like there's so many different things we can see. I'm excited.
I'm
definitely going to see it in theaters as soon as I possibly can.
Well, we're buying tickets November 29th. We're going to the first show. And me and JT decided we're getting there early. I want to be able to sit in the back, so if I jump up, I'm not.
Is that when tickets go on sales the 29th?
Yeah. Because like dead ass, like they better give Andrew and Toby hell of an entrances in the movie, like for both of them. Not just have them randomly like come jump in, because those are that's huge. People don't realize how freaking huge it is. Because like you said, I want to sit in the back. Because if Andrew and Toby come in, I'm literally like jumping up and like being pumped.
What level does this rank on to where we got Luke Skywalker back in the final Star Wars trilogy?
To me though,
in the trilogy, I think this is bigger.
I think it's bigger
too.
too. Like for me personally, because that was the peak of our childhood, was Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was my favorite superhero movie.
Like, that's what people always say, well, that's what I grew up on. Like, we literally grew up as Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They made the video games after.
Yeah,
it was so good. Nah, I'm with you guys. I keep hoping and praying that these unnamed Sony Spider-Man movies that were announced are somehow new Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire movies, because if they're smart, man, you know, this could be one of the only movies where they're all in the same movie at the same time, but then they can go back to their own universes and still live their own lives.
Yeah. I'm not fully convinced that like those previous universes that they came from aren't going to be changed forever because of this movie.
Well,
which I feel like that's what could easily lead into the new.
Yeah.
If stuff gets changed in their home universes, you should show another movie.
So
you know what I mean? Show what happened.
So I was seeing like the Doctor Strange part where he's like, it's coming through and I can't stop it. I think universes are going to like intertwine with each other, like kind of mix together. And that will explain, I don't know if you saw that Jared Leto Morbius movie.
Yeah.
It explains why there's so many. There's like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man reference in it. There's a Andrew Maguire's Oscorp from Amazing Andrew Garfield's Oscorp is in that one. There's all these different things that are intermingled in Morbius, which kind of explains like that the universe is all mashed together.
Right.
You know?
That'd be really interesting.
I look at it like this. I'm so sold and so like, I just have such faith in the MCU and the Sony Spider-Man stuff that they really will probably keep all this going until they just don't feel like doing it anymore.
Yeah.
With like the Eternals, for example, Harry Styles comes in at the end and he's Thanos' brother. They're going to have to touch on that. It's always going to be intertwined. You know, we could, 15 years from now, it could be the next set of superheroes, and we're taking our kids or relatives or whoever to see these movies, and we're still going to hear references about things that happened in the movies that we grew up on.
Yeah.
Like this is something that can just keep going for the next 10 or 20 years. And I know for some reason a lot of people give the comic book stuff a bad rap, but I just personally feel like that's what people like. Like people like a story that continues to go on that is all intertwined with one another. It's more real life. That's more real to me.
People like consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing that irks me more than when you get, like, say you have one movie and the sequel comes out and, like, there's just a lot of stuff that, you know, there's no continuity between the two. Like, they replaced actors, shit like that. Obviously, a little bit of that has happened in the MCU, but it was early on. And now they have this opportunity. Now it's like I said, it's so smart with the multiverse stuff.
Yeah,
that
it is. I mean, it's
that
so
that
smart.
stuff doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
It's all this multiverse just connects all of it.
I mean, who's to say that fucking Hugh Jackman and Professor X won't be in it? We don't know.
No, I mean, we don't know. But I was gonna say, how cool. I mean, this is the perfect way to introduce Miles Morales, like we said. But how cool, even cooler would it be if all the Spider-Mans from the cartoon movie into the Spider-Verse somehow? Like, what if Jake Johnson came falling out of a freaking portal when he was the funny Spider-Man, like from the movie? And like, from the cartoon.
Chris Pine's like the first Spider-Man that dies in the very beginning.
Yeah, it's like you're right. I mean, you don't know. You don't. And I'm glad I don't know.
I thought the trailer was phenomenal, and the reason that I think it was so great is because it still leaves the door wide open and nobody can figure out who the sixth villain of the Sinister Six is.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Nobody will know until the movie comes out, and there's so many different things that they can... Dude, we might fucking see Topher Grace's Venom.
Yeah.
We don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be cool.
Like, there's just so many different things that can happen, and I'm with you. I think this has the opportunity to be the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Very excited.
We're very excited.
Well, I think we've out of time, guys. Yeah?
We have.
I would say so.
All right, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jerry Nixon Jr. And subscribe to the YouTube and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform and all platforms. Why not? You know, do it for the boys.
You can catch me on Instagram. That's John Theodore Nixon on Instagram. I'm on the Juicebox Podcast Twitter. That's at the Juicebox Pod. That's at the Juicebox Pod. Hashtag Milk Gang, you already know. Follow us on Facebook, the Juicebox Podcast. We are not the diabetes, the Juicebox Podcast.
I'm on Instagram at Zarly Price, and I'm on Twitter at PokeZar. That's Z-A-R.
Z is in zebra, A is in apple. Are we seriously not going to act like the Mounties are better now that Oscar Sheboygan's gone?
Oscar Sheboygan? R as in Reebok.
Horns down, baby.
Bye-bye.